To our top story, a $3.956 billion budget was presented by Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Farley Augustine. This was his third and final presentation as Finance Secretary before he prepares to hand over the portfolio to someone else. Augustine stated that the $3.956 billion budget should equal 5.8% of the upcoming national budget. Based on Tobago's population growth and the stipulation of the DRC ruling, he argued that the Tobago should not receive less than such appropriation. More from senior reporter Candice Jackson.
Under the theme Unlocking Tobago's Development Potential, Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance, Trade and the Economy, Farley Augustine, is planning a budget amounting to $3.956 billion for the next year.
The total estimates of expenditure for fiscal 2025 are calculated as $3.956 billion, of which the current expenditure amount to $2.819 billion. Development program expenditure estimates amount to $1.002 billion. URP expenditure to $91.9 million and CPEP expenditure to $43.8 million.
This total is more than the central government granted the THA for fiscal 2024, which amounted to $2.58 billion. Augustine explained that the $3.956 billion request for fiscal 2025 is based on a 5.8% of the national budget estimate of $65.8 billion. Why 5.8%? He argued that Tobago's population grew from 4.58% of the national population in 2011 to 5.05% in 2022, which is enough to review the DRC ruling on how much the THA should be allocated.
All Tobago is requesting is budgeting or budgetary per capita expenditure equality as a minimum revenue share to the THA.
For any less to be given, Augustine said it will
constitute a non-alleviation of the per capita expenditure inequality that has defined the national budget since 1962 and more recently from 2011.
The Chief Secretary noted that Tobago's development hinges on resources which are constitutionally dependent on central government. However, he expressed intentions to set the island on a new development pathway. As such, he is adopting a strategic selective developmental model which has been used in jurisdictions similar to Tobago. This means that the THA will be deliberate in its projects and initiatives it decides to invest in.
My administration recognizes and understands that transforming an indiscriminate development culture into a selective and disciplined one will not be easy. Indeed, it will take some doing to implement, especially as our development needs are overwhelming and the demands from the public are also overwhelming.
The new development plan is said to complement Augustine's mantra for Tobago, which is creating the greatest little island on the planet over the next 20 years.
Targeted GDP growth, education and innovation, a scientifically driven modern healthcare system, safe and sustainable food systems, a sustainable tourism sector, digital transformation, and growth of the SME sector.
Among some of the goals are increasing agriculture's contribution to the GDP from 2% to 5%, reinforcing tourism infrastructure, increasing airlift to the destination, protecting the environment, increasing housing, and digitizing the THA's services. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.